Good morning, good morning, good morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you are breathing. Today is Tuesday, November the 14th, 2023. My name is Stephen Carnegie, and welcome to This Is Just a Thought. Today's word of the day, grizzly, which means causing horror or intense fear. Grizzly. Hope everyone is enjoying their Tuesday. We made it through Monday. We're in Tuesday. Weather here in North Carolina, man, it's looking pretty good. Temps in the mid 60s, and of course, at night temperatures drop off. But it's seasonably, they're calling it seasonably mild. I guess it is for November here in North Carolina. You never know which way the wind blows. But of course, they're saying later on this week. At one point in time, they were saying later on this week we were going to drop down. Now they're saying they're expecting Friday to be in the upper to mid 60s, may even hit 70, and no rain in sight. By the way, the state is under a drought also. Didn't know that. But yeah, we haven't gotten some rain here in North Carolina in a while, it looks like. I believe they went all the way back to August or sometime in September. So, wow, the state is in a drought. We have some wildfires out west also that have closed. It's kind of odd because we have wildfires in the west in the mountains, and then they announced this morning there's a resort, a snow resort, and they haven't gotten any snow. How odd is that? How odd is that? Global warming? Could be, could be. Really haven't talked about global warming. I'm kind of on the fence. I know that sounds odd because many people are flat out saying, hey, this is global warming. The temperature of the Earth's core is rising. That's why we're having all these strange weather patterns and whatnot and what have you. Understandably so, understandably so. But as far as I can tell, it's just the way things are for me. Anyway, hey, before I go any further, I want to ask you all to hit that like and subscribe button and the bell so you can get notified when I drop these podcasts. Keep you in the loop. Just do, please do. If you're a first time listener or watcher, hey, hit that like and subscribe button. And also that bell, like I said, so you can get notified when I drop these podcasts. Hey, they're coming. I'm sure, as many of you have noticed, I'm in a new spot. Got me some new digs, some new threads. Like I said before, it was time for a change. Sometimes life's come at you and you got to move, so I decided to move. Probably was a good thing. Like I always say, hey, when life hits you, and knocks you for a loop, you got to be ready to get back up and keep moving. I'm gonna be honest with you again. Also, had not life knocked me around a tad bit, probably would have still been doing it inside of my house. So hey, sometimes hey, you gotta move when it's time to move. You gotta know when. Can't stay still, contempt, and complacent all of your life. You just can't. Haven't came to didn't come to you guys yesterday. Had some technical difficulties. Had planned on it, but I'm here today, and hey, let's talk about some Sunday football. Man, it was some good games though. It was some good games. The Indianapolis Colts. I almost called them the Baltimore Colts. Why would I call them the Baltimore Colts? Because at one point in time, that's what they were. They were in Baltimore. The Colts beat up on the Patriots 10-6. Wow, what's going on with Bill Belichick? Man, his legacy, is it gone? Is he gone? Because there has been some talk since he's been losing. It's not looking too good. Will he stay in New England or will he go? Who knows? And will he just flat out retire? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Who knows? Who knows? And of course, the Cleveland Browns defeated the Baltimore Ravens. That's the Baltimore team I was thinking about. Just was. The Browns beat up on the Ravens 33-31, surprising, but then again, not so surprising because now you have those fair weather fans and sports analysis. They're riding, surprise, surprise, Lamar Jackson. They're saying, is he really it? Is he worth it? To me personally, he is that top tier. He is a top tier quarterback. Hey, he's just hitting a bump in the road. Don't throw the guy under the bus because he's having a little rough patch, man. Well, these fair weather fans and these fake sports analysis, God, you guys really need to cut it out. Guys just hitting a bump in the road. That's all it is. I believe they're saying that how he's performing is not up to par. Maybe he's not that good. Maybe he's not as great as we thought he was. Yada 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 rah 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 shish boom bah. Guys just hitting the rough patch in football. That's all it is. Just a rough patch. I mean, I got to be honest with you. That's the way I see it. Just is. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Green Bay Packers 23-19. Couldn't have happened to a nicer team. The woes and troubles continue for Jordan Love. He's struggling, folks. He's struggling. Few of those Green Bay faithful, hey, they're not used to struggling like this. I would say they're not used to losing, but I mean struggling. Aaron Rodgers, he lost some games. So, like I said, Jordan Love, he's a good quarterback to me. And I've always said that, even though he didn't get that much play sitting on the bench, but he was still learning from Aaron Rodgers. I always said he was a good quarterback. Just give him time to develop. Uh, it can't be easy. I mean, he already coming into a program followed by Aaron Rodgers, which many consider the GOAT. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I just don't. I just don't. I don't know about that. But yeah, the woes continue for him and the Packers. They ain't looking so tough. In fact, in that NFC North, they're second to last. Guess who's last? The Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears defeated the Carolina Panthers Thursday night. Two of the worst teams in the NFL, in my opinion. Just is. So they're the second from the last place in the NFC North, and then you have the Lions that are, of course, they're top, along with the Vikings. And hey, we'll see what happens with that. Well, we don't have to see what happens with the NFC North. It's going to the Lions. I'm sorry. It just is. Unless the Lions falter and fall completely apart the remainder of the season, I don't think anyone's going to get close to them. They possibly could be, and I know it's a stretch, but I like the way the Lions play. I ain't no bandwagon fan. I'm a Bears fan, and I'm always gonna be a Bears fan. But I like to watch good football. I like the way the Lions play. They play pretty good. And moving along here, man, the San Francisco 49ers, they bounced back 34-3 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they have bounced back. Purdy threw for 3 touchdowns. Many were wondering and questioning. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they lost about 2 or 3 in a row after they beat up on. Well, they lost 2 in a row after they beat up on the Dallas Cowboys a while ago, a few weeks ago. So looks like many are saying, "Hey, San Fran is back." Hey, what do I tell you? These bandwagon fans and these bandwagon sports analysts, they work my last nerve. Because now they're back on with Brock Purdy. Oh, he's a good quarterback. He's bouncing back. Please, 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 please. And the Houston Texans defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 30-27. Like the Bengals lost in the previous week. Hey, they had beat the brakes off of San Fran. That's football. You never know which way it's going to turn. And they were saying during that game when the Cincinnati Bengals, I almost call them the Beagles, defeated San Fran, they were saying, "Oh, Joe Burrows is back. He's back. Joe Burrow is that quarterback. He's not injured. He's hitting on all cylinders." Now they're bashing him. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Just like Lamar Jackson. And, they were saying, hey, when he was winning, they could overlook all his mistakes. But now that he's losing, they're questioning. Okay. And speaking of that NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings defeated the New Orleans Saints 27-19. Kirk Cousins is out. He's out with a leg injury, Achilles tendon. So he's out. The backup is in. He's looking pretty good. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could say he won 2 in a row. So the backup's looking good. Like I said, that NFC North, it's the Vikings and the Lions. Speaking of the Lions, they defeated the Chargers 41-38. Field goal. I believe they said there were 5 games Sunday, and then you had one last night. They came down to a field goal. Hey, um, like I said before, the Chargers, they're a pretty good team. Hubert is a good quarterback, but it's their defense. Their defense. They have old Khalil Mack, mm, and they're rolling. So we'll be looking around, and hey, we'll be seeing the Chargers in the playoffs also, along with the Lions. Hey, it's anybody's game. It is anybody's game. And quite possibly, I won't call it an upset, but a huge letdown. The Washington Commanders were defeated by the Seattle Seahawks 29-26. If you watched any part of that game, I got to say, the Commanders, they just gave up. Now, don't get me wrong, the Commanders, they aren't a top tier team, but they are one of those teams, I call them creepers. When I say creepers, they're one of those teams. If you go in there and you're sleeping on them and you think it's a shoe in, you got it won. No, they will hurt you. Sam Howell is the quarterback of the Commanders. He's looking pretty good. Old UNC, NFL. It's heating up. It's heating up. And boy, to round out Sunday, there's a whole lot of games, but I'm going to end on this one here for Sunday. Dallas Cowboys defeated the New York Football Giants 49-17. Yep, they did. Dallas Cowboys. They defeated the New York Football Giants. Ain't nothing to brag about because the Giants aren't looking too tough this year. Matt Jones is out, so they had to go to a third string quarterback, and it showed. And the Cowboys took advantage. Now, back to what I said about these, I can halfway see the fans, because if you're a fan, you're a diehard. You're going to always be pulling and rooting for your squad, and that's Cowboy fans, even though there are very irritating. But the sports analysis, these sports analysts came out, and how could you let this come out of your mouth? You're saying they said with the past 2 or 3 weeks, the performance that Dak Prescott has had, because he had a pretty good game Sunday night, and he looked pretty well. I gotta admit, they said, hey, he's an MVP candidate. Dak Prescott ain't no MVP candidate. It's for way too many top tier, better quarterbacks than him. I ain't knocking him. Like I said, he had a great game. He's had a past 2 or 3 weeks, even with the loss at San Fran, he looked pretty good. But he ain't no MVP candidate. Yeah, I mean, hey, you want to take it there for the Lions. You know that quarterback with the Lions, he's looking pretty good. You got Tua down in Miami. You got Mahomes in Kansas City. And these guys have been putting it on and working hard all year. Dak Prescott, mm-mm, he ain't been looking so tough this year. I mean, it's only 2 or 3 games that he's been stepping up. The first part of the year, he was horrible. Like I said, these sports analysts, they were bashing him. It was even one talk. They were talking about trading him. And all of a sudden, 2 or 3 games later, he's hitting on, I won't say all cylinders, but he's hitting on cylinders and he's looking good. And they're saying he's an MVP quarterback. He ain't no MVP quarterback. All y'all did was beat up on the New York Football Giants. That's it. And of course, you know the Dallas Cowboy faithful. This is our year. We're Super Bowl bound. No, you ain't, guys. You're just not. You ain't going to no Super Bowl. This is just what the Cowboys do every year. For the past 2 years, if you've been following me and listening to me, I've been saying the same thing, and I'm going to say it again right here, right now. This is what the Cowboys do. They start off lackluster. They halfway through their season, they start going into the NFC, their division, their conference, and they're looking good, and everybody's up in arms. Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah! They're the great team. They're this, they're that, and then that infamous, and I do mean infamous Cowboy skid and flop happens and they fall apart. They just do. They fall completely apart. And it's a coming. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans. It's a coming. There's no way. You can't tell me anything different. This we all know. This we all know. And last night in Monday Night Football, I watched that game and I was sitting there and I was like, what in the world is going on with the Buffalo Bills? Wow. Josh Allen. What's happening? He's woo. Turnovers, incomplete passes. And when I say turnovers, it was like turnovers on downs, interceptions. Uh, they lost to the Denver Broncos 24-22. Kind of made Russell Wilson look like he was back on again. He wasn't that great and it wasn't that bad. He completed his passes when he needed to. He ran when he needed to. He got them in position when they needed to because that game was won by a field goal also. And let's be honest with each other, the first 2 or 3 quarters, it was like field goals. And the Bills, hey, they got the lead late, I believe it was late in the third, and they ended up losing the game. Couldn't keep it together. Why? What in the world is going on with Josh Allen and the Bills Mafia? Wow, they ain't looking so tough. They ain't looking so tough. Wow. Hey, like I always say, this is the NFL. This is any given Sunday. It ain't a movie title. It is a fact. Any given Sunday, it's anybody's squad. It's anybody's time. It's anybody's time to do what they want. If that opportunity presents themselves, hey, who knows what may happen? Who knows what may happen? So hey, let's just keep watching football. I enjoy it thoroughly. I just do. Just do. All right, let's go get it. Now, Sunday night, I was sitting at home. I watched the games. The news came on, and a surprise to me. But then again, many may say, hey, it wasn't a surprise. If you've been following the Republican Party and the GOP and that debate from last Wednesday night, Republican hopeful nomination for the Republican Party, Tim Scott, he suspended his race. Just did. And let's move back a little bit. The presidential debate that happened on, I believe it was last Wednesday or Thursday, it was a pretty good debate. I thought. I watched it. Hey, you got to know what's going on around you. You know, I horn in and I tell you guys all the time the mindset of, oh, it ain't my problem, ain't my business. I can't deal with none of those guys. I hate them. You're going to miss something that you really need to know. And nothing really came out spectacular. It was like I said, you got to stay up on these politicians and politics in general. So I watched the debate. It was pretty good. A lot of pretty interesting statements were made. Quite a few insults. Man, Nikki Haley and Vince Swami. Vince Swami tore off into her about her daughter and TikTok. They went back and forth, and finally she told him, keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. She had a Will Smith moment. She had a Will Smith moment. She said, hey, keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. Then she ended it with, oh, you just scum. Whoa, hadn't seen that. I didn't see that coming, and I have never seen anything like that between, because she is a politician, a representative. She was a representative of the United States at the UN. Ben Swami, if you don't know, he is an entrepreneur. He's a business owner, a million or billionaire or whatever heir he is. He's running and he got under her skin. He got on her nerves. Yeah, they were going back and forth about TikTok because if you know anything about TikTok, they're saying it's been controlled by China. They're spying on us. You know, they're getting our user data, all this and that, yada yada yada. He tore off on her, and apparently she's made deals in South Carolina when she was a representative with some businesses from China. So he plugged in on that. Then he finally ended it with, "Hey, you're one of those that want to say get rid of TikTok, but yet your own daughter had it. Uh, control your own household before you try to control anyone else's." Wow. And she let him have it with both barrels. Keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. Boy, it sounded like Will Smith, didn't it? I had a flashback. I was like, ooh, where's Will? She's taking the but yeah, moving along from that, if you saw that debate, there were some good topics. There were some good points made. And Tim Scott, man, I have to say, out of all of those Republican hopefuls trying to get that nomination for the Republican Party, Donald Trump wasn't there, by the way. I'm still trying to figure out, I can't comprehend, I can't grasp the concept. He hasn't shown up to any of the debates. He's in the hot seat with his business dealings now in New York. He's on trial for inflating his real estate along with his daughter and sons. But yet and still, Donald Trump is leading in the polls. How odd is that going to be if this guy gets the nomination? Because he's just not in the hot seat in New York. He's in the hot seat in Georgia. Then he's in the hot seat down in Florida with those classified documents he had in his home. How is this guy still top of the polls? He has a fan base, folks. Hey, folks believe, and it is what it is. But Tim Scott, to me, when he first burst on the scene, he seemed like a very calm, relaxed person. And when he began to speak and began to talk, you could tell he was that guy because he was raised in a single parent home, mother who worked or whatever, what have you. He was many have said he was a breath of fresh air, and he was. He didn't do a lot of yelling, screaming, hollering, jabbing at folks, although he did take a few. He did jab a little bit during a debate, and that's what you do during a debate. But he didn't take it personal. He didn't make it personal. He was always that guy that was calm, cool, collective, a common man. And he stuck to the facts, and that was that. Didn't take any pop shots at anybody. Just didn't. But he suspended his campaign, and his reasoning being is he said the people have spoken. He wasn't looking good in the polls for him, but he ended it and he said, "Hey, I had the pleasure and opportunity to travel this great nation of ours and meet some wonderful people, and that's something that can't be taken away from me pretty much." And he thoroughly enjoyed it. But one thing I didn't know, one thing that came out, the super PAC that was backing him, I guess they looked at them poll numbers and the money he was losing because he wasn't getting any donations like that outside of that super PAC, and they dropped him, and that was that. He bowed out gracefully. Um, I gotta say, he was a good. I thoroughly enjoyed hearing him speak. And something that came out, and it's true. His way as a Republican is not the way the base of the Republican Party is now. Republican Party is now they're jabbing and they're going after the juggler. Just like I said, Tim Scott was very calm, cool, collective, very respectful, a common man. So yeah, he didn't fit in with that mold with the Republican Party, and it showed in the end. But like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed hearing him speak and talk and sticking to the topic and not veering off and insulting others and just coming up with these great conspiracy theories or whatever or what have you. He stuck to the point, the main thing. That was him. So he's out, and I believe this allows him, if I'm not mistaken, he is a senator in South Carolina, so he can go back and continue to be a senator until his term up till he runs for reelection. So he's still going to be around. I thought it was a good candidate. I just did. The rest of them, Doug Christie, will he be the next one to bow out? Probably will. He probably will. Let's call it now. Doug Christie's going to be the next one. Talking to folks, just a general conversation with folks from New Jersey. They really ain't that fond of him. No matter what he says, hey, we're the most however he worded it about for different races and classes of people and how he was able to galvanize them and work together. A lot of folks from New Jersey say, not him. So I wonder how his funding is looking. He'll probably be the next. Um, Ron DeSantis, no, he's not going anywhere. Even though he's struggling a little bit. At one point in time, they said he was struggling a little bit with his campaign funding also. I don't think he's going anywhere. Um, like I said, I think it'll be Christie, and then from there on, who knows? Many many have said, those who follow politics, they say that Nikki Haley, yeah, she's good, she's firm, she has the experience, but she won't be a Republican nominee for the president. She'll probably be a vice president nominee running. Maybe, maybe not. But she was tough the other night. She didn't fall apart. She just merely told the guy to keep her daughter's name out of his mouth and called him scum. She's a tough woman. She ain't playing no games. Don't play with her family. And let me say this. I just think it is horrible, horrible, when politicians resort to going to someone's child or kids or family. Um, I could, I don't want to say I could see your spouse, but kids, that's a no-no. That's an extreme sign of weakness to me. Just is. Um, I don't know when that became popular, but apparently it is. It's a go-to. Maybe it's a last resort when you can't come up with anything else to say. You attack the kids. I just think it makes you look weak, and it shows. Just did, just does. So I don't know what this thing is with politicians attacking each other, others' family or kids. Like I said, I can halfway see the spouse; they're grown, but to attack a child or a preteen, a teenager, or a young lady, or a young man, or whatever, what have you, that's a no for me. I can't co-sign with that. Not in the least. Not in the least. That's a sign of extreme weakness. Just is. Just is. All right, I'm getting ready to go and get out of here. Like I said, I'm here in this new surroundings. I'm trying to adapt and get used to it. You saw me fiddling with the microphone, looking around. Change is good. Change is good. It's got to happen. Just does. Just does. All right, I'm going to go on and skedaddle. And once again, I want to thank you all for lending me your ears this morning. Continue to like, support, and share, offer feedback. Hey, get in that comment section. Let me know what you think about these football games, about these players. Is Lamar Jackson washed up already? And hey, I may be mistaken. I could be wrong. Is Dak Prescott MVP material? No, he's not. Are the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl bound? No, they're not. Yeah, I said that. I got a few Cowboy fans. If you guys are looking and watching, y'all ain't going to no Super Bowl. You just ain't. You just ain't. You just ain't. You just ain't. And also get in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the Republican debate last week. What do you think? What do you think about the Republican Party as a whole, as far as Donald Trump leading in the polls, and he has all this mess going on? Makes you wonder. Makes you think. Makes you think. All right, like I said, I'm going to get out of here. And once again, hey, hit that like and subscribe button so you and hey, hit that bell so you get notified when I drop these podcasts. Keep you in the loop. And as always, thank you for listening. My name is Stephen Carnegie. For this is just a thought. Amen.